Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome today for our last meeting, TU170. Today meeting is for section 1308. And today we will talk about meeting 6, inshallah, and will be the last meeting. Most of you already done all the activities and the quizzes for the students who did not or missed an activity or a quiz. They can contact with Muhammad Al-Shanti, which is the coordinator with the course, the manager of the course, you can say. So if you have any issue related to quizzes, all the quizzes, activities, just send an email to Muhammad Al-Shanti. Anything related to the topic, you can ask me through this session or meeting, or you can send me an email for any question. Any question about the final exam schedule? Everyone knows when the final exam will take place. Any question about the final exam? So the timetable for the final exam. Hello, do you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So is there any question related to final exam timetable?
No, it's all obvious.
Okay, we already discussed that. So let's start our meeting to finish early for any further questions.
Doctor,
Yes.
are a question option only?
Yes, options. The same multiple choices as the quizzes.
How many? 15?
I don't know actually, because they did not send any information about it. The responsible for the exams and the quizzes and activities is the Muhammad Al-Shanti, the manager of the course. So they might send an email to you to let you know about how many questions, but you have 2 hours, so you assume that you will have more than 20 questions or 30 questions.
Okay,
thank you. Slides?
Yeah.
Can we study the slides only?
You can go through the slides, and if you have any topics that you want to have to learn more information about these topics, or you are confused about any topic, you can go to the smart book. So you have to study both, but in the slides you have the headlines. So if you understand the topic, you don't need to go back to the smart book.
Doctor, smart book, all the books. We need like this slide.
In the smart book, you have to study till chapter 16, as we are going through today. So the last chapter will be chapter 16. Everything till chapter 16. Okay. So let's start our meeting today. This is the last meeting, meeting 6, and it will be about chapter 16. It is about privacy, security, and ethics. In the chapter, we will talk through these 3 topics. So let's start then. First, we will talk about the learning outcomes as usual. We usually talk about these outcomes before we start any chapter. So in this chapter, we will identify the most significant concerns for effective implementation of computer technology. So how we have effective implementation of any source of technology related to computer. So we will discuss also the primary privacy issues in computer technology, accuracy, propriety, who owns the data or who owns the information from computer technology, who owns the access to these informations. Also, we will describe the impact of large databases because we are using computer technology. We will get a lot of data produced from using the computer technology. So we will have large databases. These large databases are working in a private networks using the internet and the web, and we will describe all these aspects on privacy issue. Also, we will discuss online identity. How do we deal with identity through online? The major laws that organize online identity related to privacy issue. Also, we will talk about cybercrimes types and computer ethics. All of these topics will be discussed through the meeting. So let's start about the most important item in the information system. So we already discussed that information system consists of people, procedures, software, hardware, data, and the internet. And this was on the first meeting, I assume that. So on the issues that we are discussing today, privacy, security, and ethics, all are related to people, the most important item in the information system. This chapter focuses on people, while most everyone agrees that technology has had a very positive impact on people. It is important to recognize the negative. Also, we have a positive impact on people using computer technology in information system. Also, we have a negative impact on that, or potentially negative as well. So effective implementation of computer technology involves maximizing positive effects while minimizing negative effects. So to have an effective implementation of using computer technology in information system, we have to maximize the effects that could give us a positive impact. Also, we minimize the negative effects as well. So the most significant concerns are, as we discuss, privacy, security, and ethics. These three concerns are very significant related to people in computer technology. Let's start with privacy. What are the threats to personal privacy, and how can we protect ourselves? Privacy is how to protect yourself from unauthorized people. Security, how can access to sensitive information can be controlled, how to control the access to information that's sensitive to you, and how can we secure hardware, how to secure hardware and software, and stop unauthorized people from entering or using the hardware and software. Ethics, the third issue in this chapter. How do the actions of individual users and companies affect society? How these actions can affect society in negative or positive way. So now we will start with the first issue, which is privacy. And we said privacy, what are the threats to personal privacy? And so we can protect ourselves. So technology makes it possible to collect and use data of all kinds. That's because of computer technology make it very possible for anyone can collect and use data of all kind, including information all about people. The websites you visit, for example, this is an example of privacy issue. The websites you visit, the stores where you shop, all of these have some information which are considered privacy to the users, but sometimes there are some compromised information through these activities. So privacy concerns the collection and use of data about individual. This is the main definition of privacy, which is concerns to the collection of and use of data about individuals. We have three primary issues in privacy. One of them, accuracy, related to the responsibility of those who collect data to ensure the data is correct. Accuracy, who is responsible to collect the data to make sure that these data are correct. Property relates to who owns the data. Access related to the responsibility of those who have data to control and able to use that data. Who are the have the access to the data. So what are privacy in large databases? Let's talk about large databases. Anyone in this section or from the student dealt with large databases in companies can give a short introduction about how privacy is very important in large databases. Any student can contribute, please. Or you can imagine that large databases consist of what and how the owner of these large databases, whether a government, company, they are concerned about privacy. How privacy is very important to these people.
I have dealt with the large database.
Okay.
I'm not an expert, but I saw one. It has the usernames and emails and passwords of all the users that in the site.
And why they have username and passwords?
So they can retrieve it when any user want to sign in.
Yeah, but why they, let's say, for example, they have different type of users, I assume, like admin user, normal user, customer user. Yeah. So why they have different type of users?
Permissions and accessibility of the users.
Exactly. Privacy, which is you just talked about access, one of the issues of privacy. So each individual have different access. That's good. So you worked with the database itself, or worked in a company using a database?
Actually, I worked with the database itself. The company has no idea.
Okay. So as you said, it is large organizations are constantly compiling information about us. Everyday data is gathered about us and stored in large databases. This is how large databases is collected, whether from a large organization as an employee or from a large organizations which consider you as a customer or individual customer. This ever-growing volume of data is often called big data. So we call it sometimes big data. A vast industry of data gatherers known as information resellers or information brokers. Anyone can give us a definition of information resellers? You can read from the slides if you want. Sometimes they name them information brokers.
Yes, Mr. Mansour.
Go ahead.
Those are the people who gather information about you, like email or phone numbers, and sell them to companies or scammers.
Yes, exactly. Usually they are working with advertisement.
Yes.
Information resellers create electronic profiles, so you have an electronic profile for individual or highly detailed and personalized descriptions of individuals. Usually they use your email as the ID of the electronic profile. Also, if they have your name, for example, they will use it also. All kind of data they can collect. These profiles, electronic profiles, can reveal more than you might wish, and this can raise many important issues, including collecting public but personally identifying information, spreading information without personal consent, spreading inaccurate information. Sometimes you find inaccurate information about you from these electronic profiles. Privacy in private networks. Many organizations monitor employee email and computer files using special software called employee monitoring software. These programs record everything you do on the computer. Also, universities, they have their own student monitor software, which monitor any student login to the computer in the labs and find their activities and so on. Also, organizations, government, all of these organizations, type of organization, which they have a private networks, they definitely have a monitoring software for different issues. Sometimes these issues are ethical, sometimes unethical issues, unfortunately. So also internet and web, we will talk about internet and web in terms of privacy issue. Most people do not concern about privacy when sending email on the internet or browse the web. They're not considered that email can be overtaken by somewhere, or can spread any information that related to their personal information, as long as they use their own computers. Some people, unfortunately, they think that as long as they are using their own computers and have the choice to reveal their personal information, they think that little can be done to invade their personal privacy, which is not correct. And a lot can be done to invade their personal privacy unless they follow the privacy steps. Experts call this the illusion of anonymity. When you browse the web, your browser, this is one of the issues that you have to face in your computer, even in your personal computer. So when you browse the web, your browser stores critical information into your hard disk. This information, which contains records about your internet activities, includes history files, temporary internet files. So can I ask a question about why web browser store these informations in the browser cache? Why? Some of you might consider, so why my browser is saving this information? If it will have a concern about my privacy. What do you think? Why these browsers using browser cache?
Doctor, because it is needed to.
Yes.
For example, the cookies for sites.
Yeah, these 4 sites. I'm talking now. Next slide, we will talk about the site. Now we're talking about the browser. Why the browser saving history files, which includes your location, addresses, sites you have visited, temporary internet files. Why these browsers?
Saving login credentials.
Yes, exactly. To help you to remember your password, for example, to remember your credential, to help you to remember which sites you have visited, during last week, for example, you find an information, and the next day you wanted to remember which site, you will go to the history file and you find all the sites you have visited, a track of all your history sites. Also temporary internet files. The next I will talk about the cookies. As you said, cookies are very important for the website itself. Are small data files that are deposited on your hard disk from websites you have visited. Why they are using cookies again? Can you why the website saving some cookies? For the websites, they are saving these cookies in order to open their websites the next time faster. So you open once the first time you visit a website, that website will save some cookies into your hard disk, and the reason for that is in order to open the site again in very fast way. So the site can read its files from your hard disk instead of reading it from its server. And it is helpful for the sites, but sometimes it will consider your privacy issue. Types of cookies. These are types of cookies. First party cookie, which is generated and then read only by the website. Only the website you are currently visiting can read it and generate it. A third party cookie, or called a tracking cookie, is usually generated by an advertising company that is affiliated with the website you are currently visiting. These cookies are used by the advertising company to keep track of your web activity as you move from one site to the next. Anyone can explain this type of cookie? Nowadays, you can definitely notice this type of cookie while you are browsing the internet. One of the example is Google advertisement. So once you went to a shopping website, for example, and you checked about any item, like let's say you was browsing a Toyota website, Toyota car website. So every time you go to any website, you would have an advertisement about the same thing that you are looking for. And this is how this third-party cookie is working. Several other threats could potentially violate your privacy, like web bugs. These are the threats that can violate your privacy. One of the threats is web bugs, which are invisible, you cannot see, like images or HTML code, which was saved as we were talking in the cookies, and hidden within a web page or email message can be used to transmit information without your knowledge. Also, spyware are programs designed to secretly record and report an individual activities on the internet. Sometimes you download a software from unknown source. That might be a spyware. Anyone experienced this type of spyware? Was looking for Microsoft Office, for example, and downloaded it from unknown website or untrusted website and got spyware program installed in its computer or in his iPhone or Android system. Anyone has experienced this before? Yeah?
No, Mr. Mansur, but I have something to add on this.
Okay, go ahead. Thank you.
Spyware is commonly found when you use public Wi-Fi's. So that's why you should not put critical information like credit cards and passwords, because someone could be spying on you and record every move.
Yes, The procedure you are talking about, which is using the hotspot or Wi-Fi, is called man-in-the-middle attack. Or so someone is picking your IP packets. So you are going through a website, for example, and you're using a hotspot, unknown hotspot from a hotel or in a cafe, for example. So this, the one is responsible for the hotspot, has the ability to track your packets that go in from your computer through his router or through his hotspot to the source. Let's say, for example, you are logging to PayPal, for example. So you go to, you already connected to the hotspot and you opened the web browser. Because you are connected to the hotspot, that means any traffic going from your device, whether a mobile phone or a computer, definitely is going through the hotspot router or the hotspot itself. In this hotspot, they have like packet tracer programs. They are not spyware, but they are programs to track packets. So they are using these programs to track the packets because you trust them and went through their personal hotspot network. This is a different, but it is a kind of attack. But spyware are programs, so these programs need to be installed. I'm going to give you an example of that. Like 1 week ago, I experienced this. I was I was in a hurry to finish an issue with my mobile phone, but alhamdulillah, I fixed the issue and I found the problem. I usually use WeChat. Anyone knows what is WeChat? Do you know WeChat?
Chat?
Yeah, it is like a WhatsApp, but from China.
Yeah.
I usually use it, but unfortunately, Chinese government, they put some regulation for that. So you cannot log into a WeChat unless you have recognition Chinese person from China. So I wanted to go around this issue because I want to talk to someone in China through WeChat. Then I went to Google and searched about any solution for that. I found some guy was talking through the YouTube and saying that he has some software that can bypass the recognition procedure. I installed that software in my mobile phone, and it was Android. I didn't see any application. The installation was finished. After I finished the installation, I didn't see any application. I searched for the application. There is no application. I knew that this is a spyware. I went through the app manager to find any application. I didn't find any application. So I installed an application that shows you the history of installation in your phone. Then I found it, and it was unnamed. Can you imagine an application named with just dots? So I installed it, and that spyware was like advertisement every time going through your phone and sending some advertisement. It was just advertisement. So anyone has to be careful while downloading any programs, whether to your phone or in a computer. So these spyware, they run in the background. As my example said to you, you cannot see them and are invisible to the average user, because I'm an IT expert. So I went through my mobile phone system and found the application and installed it. For average users, they sometimes they will suffer with this issue for a period of time. Then at the end of the day, they will format their mobile phone or computer. The only solution for them. Also, we have computer monitoring software, and is the most invasive and dangerous type of software because they are monitoring everything. The software in my example is just an advertisement software, but this one is very dangerous, computer monitoring software. Also, keystroke logger. Anyone can read keystroke logger and explain it to us? Another type of spyware.
Can I read it?
Yes, go ahead.
Keystroke logger is a type of computer monitoring software that records every activity and keystroke made on your computer system, including credit card numbers, passwords, and email messages.
Yeah, can you explain it in very short? What is it?
It's a program that records every stroke you hit on the keyboard,
Okay.
passwords, your credit card numbers, everything.
Yeah, they analyze any keystroke in your keyboard, and is another dangerous spyware. Best defenses against these spyware are: exercise caution when you visiting a new website. Be careful before you install any program. Be careful when downloading software from an unknown source. Use anti-spyware. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. In my situation, I have an anti-spyware, and they did not recognize that application I installed, which are designed to detect and remove various types of privacy threats. For example, adware, which is the issue I had was adware was a spyware of type adware. Another aspect of internet privacy comes from online identity, the information that people voluntarily post about themselves online, in social networking, or on an email. There are any number of cases, a lot of number of cases of people who have lost their jobs on the basis of posts on social networking sites. Any previous example of someone lost his job because of a tweet or any posting in the website? Anyone remember some previous issues in Saudi Arabia, for example? There are some famous social users that they track their tweets long time ago, 2015. I don't know his name, and
He was doctor. Right?
sorry.
He was doctor.
Yes, he was a doctor. Anyway, we don't want to mention his name. So he was fired from his job because of some information posted online. So you have to be careful about online identity. Now we are going through the second issue in our chapter, chapter 16, security. We are all concerned with our personal security. For example, in your home, you say lock your door, or lock. I'm going to lock my door, which is about security issue. What about computer security? It's different, of course, from your house. So computer hackers, these are the theft, are the persons who trying to gain unauthorized access to our computers or other computers that contain information about us. Security involves protecting individuals and organizations. So security can be an issue for individual in your personal computer, or organizations, governments, and so on, from any theft and danger. Computer security specifically focuses on protecting information. This is the main important thing, because it's all about information technology. Hardware also one security issue, from being damaged, from being stolen, and software from unauthorized use. as well as preventing or limiting the damage from intrusions, any intrusions, sabotage, and natural disaster also is an aspect of security related to information technology, the same as our houses, our cities. So, insecurity, cybercrime, or computer crime is any criminal offense that involves a computer and a network. So, any criminal offense that involves these two aspects, even in court, in laws that related to cybercrime, there is a condition about any or the main condition for any cybercrime is the crime offense must involve a computer and a network. Computer crime. These are a table of different computer crimes. The first one, malicious programs, who spreading malicious programs, which include viruses, worms, Trojan horses, and so on. DOS attack, like denial of service attack, stopping the service. It's cybercrime also if you stop a service of an organization or even individual computers. It is a cybercrime. Cause computer system to slow down or stop. This is a cybercrime. You have to be careful with that, whether individual or organizations. Internet scams, when someone using the internet and scamming people, are scams over the internet, usually initiated by an email and involving phishing. It is a cybercrime. Social networking risks includes posting work-related criticisms and disclosure of personal information. Even if you disclose of someone's personal information, is a social networking risk, cybercrime. Cyberbullying, using the internet, cell phones, or other devices to send, post content intended to hurt or embarrass another person, is a cybercrime. Rouge Wi-Fi hotspot. This is the student was talking about. Rouge Wi-Fi hotspot. Imitate legitimate Wi-Fi hotspot in order to capture personal information by capturing the packets. As I said, theft includes hardware, stealing hardware or stealing software. Includes stealing hardware or stealing software, and computer time is a theft. Data manipulation involves changing data or leaving blank messages. All of these are examples of cyber crimes. Malicious program, the first example, malicious programs, malware, are specifically designed to damage or disrupt a computer system. Cracker is a computer criminal who creates and distributes malicious programs. The three most common types of malware are viruses, worms, Trojan horses. Viruses are destructive programs attach themselves to programs and databases that can alter or delete files. Viruses can alter or delete files. Worms are programs that replicate themselves. They are just replicating themselves, causing computer to stop or slow down. So whether stop, they are used for DOS attack or DOS cybercrime. Worms can carry a virus. Sometimes they carry a virus, so it will be a worm and a virus. Trojan horses are programs that appear to be harmless. You look at them, they are harmless. They are Office, Microsoft Office. You need to install Microsoft Office. The program, the software is looking like Microsoft Office, while it has some Trojan horses. However, they contain malicious programs like viruses. Trojan horses usually appears as free computer programs. As I said, some websites, they distribute free computer programs, free Windows system installation without entering the key for the Windows or free Microsoft Office program. It is actually is working, but it has some Trojan horses that can be downloaded from the internet. Also, viruses and worms can find their way into PCs through email. They can be through email attachment, download from the internet, or through USB and so on. Zombie is a computer infected by a malware that allows it to be remotely controlled. So any malware that causes a computer to be remotely controlled is that computer is called a zombie computer. A collection of zombie computers is known as botnet or robot network. These are a collection of zombie computers that the attacker can control and remotely control. Antivirus programs such as Symantec, McAfee. What else you know about antivirus programs? Norton, Kaspersky. Yes. These antivirus programs provide services that keep track and alert users about virus threats. Sometimes they alert if you want to download a malware, they can alert you about the malware, and sometimes they delete it immediately. So they are very helpful for any technology, information technology. Now we are talking about the last issue in this chapter, which is about ethics, people ethics using information technology. The essential element controls how computers are used is ethics. Ethics are standards of moral conduct. So ethics in information technology are the same as in normal life. They are standards of moral conduct. Computer ethics are the guidelines for the morally acceptable use of computer in our society, using the computer or information technology in a moral conduct. Copyright and DRM stand for digital rights management. So this is another thing about ethics, copyright and DRM. Copyright is a legal concept that gives content creators the right to control use and distribution of their work. So it is the concept of giving the creator of the software or the one who create the work have the right to control the use of this work or the distribution of this work. Material that can be copyrighted, including paintings, books. This is in general. Paintings, books, music, films, and video games. All of these materials can be copyrighted to the organization or individual that create these things. Some users choose to make unauthorized copies of digital media, which violates copyrights, and this is unethical. Software piracy is an unauthorized copying or distribution of a software. To prevent copyright violations, corporations often use digital rights management, which is a corporation about protecting the copyright violation. That's it for today. We finished now. We finished just chapter 16, privacy, security, and ethics. We went through how people are related to these things, the most important elements in information system, and we went through privacy, security, and ethics. Any question about today's topic? Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay, we just finished all the meetings, and today is our last meeting. If you have any question related to the course, to the topic of the course, you can ask me now or send me an email later. If you have any question related to the quizzes, the online activity, you can ask the BCC, which is Ahmed Al-Shanti, the manager of the course.
Doctor, we have last quiz, right?
No, we finish. There is no other quiz. Quiz 5 is the last quiz.
Excuse me.
Yes?
The last session for me was the last week, but I didn't attend it, so I'm attending this one.
Okay, I will download the attendee list, and I will mark you as attended.
Okay, thank you.
Any other question?
Excuse me.
Yes, go ahead.
Regarding for the final,
Yes.
you will study all chapter or it will be any.
Only the chapters we went through the meetings, so until chapter 16.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks.
You're welcome. Any other question?
Doctor, quiz 3, I did not attend it because I was at work.
Yeah, did you send a message to Ahmed Al-Shanti?
Okay, right.
Did you send to him?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you can send. Just send him a message and he will reply to you.
Inshallah.
Anyone browsed? Let us go through the LMS. We might find some new updates there. I'm going to share the LMS. Okay, this is the LMS. There's no updates today. It says quiz 5 was the last quiz for the student to ask about quiz 5, and it was last week. It was about meeting 5. Here are some quick links to the smart book. Yeah, there is no other updates about the final exam. You might find some updates later, so you need to log in and find some updates here in the main, the home page of the course TU170. Any other question? Do you have any question now?
Yes, Mr. Mansur.
Go ahead.
So in CLMS, to the left there, we can find the smart book, right?
Yes.
And it has selected chapters, like not the whole book, just a few selected chapters. Is that what we need to study along with the meetings, of course?
Yes, the selected chapters from the meeting. So if you go through the calendar, the course calendar, going to share to you, you can see all the chapters together listed. It is the best way to find the chapters if you missed the chapters. As you can see, during week 1 and 2, we had chapter 1 and 2. Then the second meeting, we had chapter 3, 4. The third meeting, we had chapter 5 and 6. The fourth meeting, we had 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The fifth meeting we had 12, 13, 14, 15, and today's meeting 6, we had chapter 16. So basically your chapters are from chapter 1 to chapter 16. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Any other?
I lose some degrees. Are there some degrees from you?
Send me any email related to degrees that you lost, or especially quizzes.
Yes, quiz and activity.
Anyone want some help or related to quizzes and activity? Send me an email related to your marks, overall marks. Then I will go through them. Oh, I'm going through all the marks, to be honest with you. And if I have any chance to help students, I'm going to do so. But if you insist to send me, just send me to remind me. Otherwise, I'm going to do it for all students.
Yes, Mr. Russell, please do so. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Doctor.
Doctor, I have a question.
Go ahead.
Is there activity 3?
No, there are only 2
2
activities.
activities?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Any other question? Okay, anyone does not have any question, they can leave. I already downloaded the attendee.
Thank you. Doctor.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Doctor. See you soon, inshallah.
Good luck with the exams, inshallah.
Inshallah.